Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Ryan Selvey. I'm your host today. Hey to Randall and Katarina in the chat. Also, hey to Brody. Hey Brody, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. We're streaming here today on both Behance and on YouTube, and we are streaming for the second day of the week. It is week number 4 of the AE scripts and AE plugins summer sale. Your best time to get 25% off on all of these amazing plugins that are available on the site. If you go to aescripts.com, it'll bring you automatically to the sales right away. But also there is a specified section when you go into it and you click the banner, it'll pop right up and you can see everything from past sales to current sales. This is the week that we're in right now with dozens and dozens of creators. We're bringing on 2 different creators today, which I'm really excited about, both Oliver and Alex, which actually isn't their name on the list here. We have Alex from Illumi Design is Oliver, and Motion Land is Alex. So we're really excited to go on, and we're going to bring over some really great highlights from AEViewer to Font Manager, and everything in between. And I'm really excited to help you guys walk through it. Welcome back to Jack. Good to see you again. Hi, Connor. Good to see you again. NT Productions says, good to catch the live stream this time. I'm happy you're here too. But I do want to go ahead and bring in the man of the hour, Lloyd. He is the creator of AE scripts and AE plugins, which if this is your first time hearing about the website, your life's going to be rocked. It's got some really great stuff to really improve your workflow and just bring your motion or graphic design projects to the next level. So, hey man, how's it going? Welcome.
Good, man. Good to be back.
Happy second day of sales times 4, I guess. This is the last sprint, though. So this is your last chance of the summer sales, you guys, to get some really great deals.
To use proper software versioning, today is sale 4.2.
Exactly.
Week number 4, second day.
Also, Connor says, love the house plants in the background. Yeah, the past stream, I realized that I did not have a very pretty background, so I tried to up it. And then Lloyd also has his spawning. It needs to get to this level. Believe it or not, this was the size of that when I bought it 5 years ago, and it has since grown out of control. It's actually like falling over, but it looks good for the shot. So what can you do? But I'm glad to be back again for the second day. We had a good time yesterday. You guys can check the replay on both the live stream section of my Behance and also the video section of the YouTube here for AE scripts and AE plugins. If you guys have any questions or comments as we continue to go through the sale, please say hello in the chat. Let us know what works for you. Let us know if you have questions. We're going to have both Oliver and Alex on today, and they're here to answer any questions and really just show you what they got. But before we go ahead and bring Alex in, I did want to give Lloyd the floor to kind of talk about AE scripts and then also talk about the sale and kind of what this means. So take it away.
We sell flowers and flower arrangements. No, we are a place where you can get all your workflow enhancing add-ons for various platforms, but I would say mainly After Effects. And I was actually going to say hi to NT Productions. He's going to be a new author on the site, and he's been somebody who's been sharing a lot of knowledge on his own site and channel, and it's basically kind of like what we're all about. It's to get people like him and other developers, created a platform where they can share their tools with the community. And there is some benefit from being all in one place. We also provide tools like we have a manager app that allows you to download and update and license all of your tools in one swoop. So whenever there's a new version of After Effects, for example, it's not a nightmare to transfer all of your plugins and all your scripts over. Our manager app makes it a breeze. And, we also provide support in ways like we have a licensing framework. We help with marketing and branding. We try to be sort of like whatever it is that you need for your tool kind of a place. Different people or different authors need different things. Some of them don't need anything. They just want to join the party. So we're here to just be a partner and support as much as possible and make the tools as best as we can for everybody. A good tool is good for the author and it's good for the customer, for the users. So that's the goal.
Great point also to say that we're really encouraging people to look into getting into the whole process. Not everyone here is a full-time developer. Some of the guests that we have on all week are just teaching themselves as they go and actually create these really incredible products. So it's exciting to see someone who's going to be a new author on the site come to be. And if it's something that anyone else is interested in as they watch these shows, check it out. Code World is always evolving, and there's always needs for new features and trends that pop up. I know we were talking about Flex yesterday and the idea that there are motion trends that come to fruition and need a tool. And all you need is just an ask, and then you can use that to prompt you to create a product, which is cool. Also, hello to Campbell from New Zealand. Hello from Brooklyn. And then Breton is saying, woo, NT, excited to see what you launch on AE scripts. And Elias is back. Never misses a stream. Gotta love that guy. It's good to have you.
Breton is also an author on AE scripts, by the way.
Yes, we'll have him later this week, actually.
He released a new tool this week called Social Beam. Lets you transfer your After Effects comp to Instagram in one click.
Yeah, make it all easier just to ingrain yourself in closer to that social cycle of constantly uploading everything.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to bring in Alex. Alex is a longtime creator, actually, on the site because he has a handful of them. But today we'll be going over some of his newer stuff. One of the most popular ones, AEViewer. But before we do that, I'm just going to go ahead and launch his intro, and then we'll bring him on in. So here we go. All right. Hey, Alex, how's it going?
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. It's great to have
Alex.
you on the show. How you doing?
They're great. How are you?
Doing great. Excited to hear a little bit more about the different products that you have offered on the stream. You go under the pseudonym of Motionland. Is that just you, or do you have a team working on stuff?
It's a teamwork. It's a collaboration of the guy from Russia. We've been working on the templates for After Effects and Premiere Pro. You may know us from one of the biggest projects, the big pack of elements and 140 flash effects. And we are also providing some tools for the motion designers as well.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's always important to give back to the community, and then also have your passion products that you can work on and create a product that you can use your own products for.
Well, specifically, Alex, as he just said, they have a really insanely popular template project, and as you can tell, we do not sell templates on our site, but what we do sell are tools that make template authors' lives easier. And Alex has been leading the charge there, specifically with AEVIEWER, which we just recently decided to release for free, which is a huge deal. But Alex really has the pulse on. Remember how we've been talking about how, you know, the best products are made by authors who are kind of using them in their everyday life. So Alex really knows what it's like to have to be an author of a template that's sold commercially, a very popular one at that. And so that's how AEVIEWER was born, and so we're really excited to. But it's not just for template authors, by the way. It's for everybody can use it. It's a media browser, media management tool. But it specifically has some tools that are very handy, and they can actually let you market and sell your templates in a way that was never possible before. I'll let Alex talk more about that. But we're super pumped about AEVIEWER, and we love Alex.
Thank you.
No pressure, though. We have a few questions already in the chat going on. I know Elise is mentioning templates would be fun to sell. Why not sell them on aescripts? And I know, Lloyd, you spoke about it last week about the idea that there's already a lot of places for templates.
Yeah, that's right. Elise, you more business can be good. I am going to politely disagree with that statement. We do not want to be Amazon for After Effects. We very much are very focused on what we are good at. We have very purposely not grown as fast as we could, or some people would say should. And it's very much by design, because we feel that we can maintain not just the quality control, but the involvement, you know, in all of the products. Templates are, you know, there's plenty of outlets for templates, and we did not want to compete or get involved with that. But like I said, we are very much interested in creating tools for you to make templates, or to be able to facilitate template making in any way possible. So we definitely have a template section in our site, but it's not for templates themselves. We just don't want to get into the. It's a whole another world to be able to, you know, approve templates. It's more of a volume game, I would say, than anything else. And so we just did not want to get into that. But we have created many tools that other, you know, like for example, Adobe Stock uses our expression universe. Requires our expression universalizer for any template author submitting templates. So we do have a lot of tools, and of course, AEVIEWER now is going to be critical for any template author. So if you're a template author, check out AEVIEWER, the free version, and then you use AEVIEWER, the pro version, to actually author template packs that can be read with a free version. So again, I don't want to speak too much before Alex can take the floor.
Absolutely. And I know that Laura is also over here asking, for someone who hasn't touched AE yet, what plugins should I start out with? And that's actually a really good transition over to AEVIEWER, not only because it's free, but because when you're getting into After Effects for the first time, making sure that you have controlled and organized files is one of the biggest things that you'll learn the hard way in the very beginning. And making sure you have a clear-cut workflow is important to any project, and I think that AEViewer is a big part of that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll the trailer for it, and then we can talk about it.
Is browsing through your media files a pain? Meet your new hero, AEViewer, the best and fastest way to preview and import files directly in After Effects, where you can navigate all your files, create collections, install packages, and find everything instantly. And it's free. And if you want more, with the Pro version, you can customize your import options, create an expressions library, build your packages, and have a Premiere Pro version. Amazing, right? Get your copy at aescripts.com/AEViewer.
Now, we always like to go out and call out these trailer videos because as a bunch of motion designers, they are very impressive. Did you create that in-house?
What?
Trailer video?
We worked we hired a very talented duo out of Colombia to do that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You know, like I was saying, that we aescripts provide support in any way that we can. In this particular case, we teamed up with Alex and paired him up with these awesome designer animators from, like I said, from Colombia that created that amazing, fantastic promo. So
Nice and
it's a team
succinct
effort.
overview. But also there's a lot more to go through as well, since I know that there's also a Pro version. But I feel like I'm talking a lot for you. I can give you the floor, though, and you can introduce what you're all about.
All right, so let me share my screen, and yeah, let's see what it's all about. So here's the main interface, the AEViewer, and as you have may known, this is the media browser designed for the most major and popular formats to be imported and used in After Effects. And there are so many things that it's really hard to pick one of the favorite features, but I will stick with an ability to preview and to import any of the After Effects project files. So just simply with double click, you can import any of your After Effects project files.
Alex, can I ask you questions as you go along? So that's awesome. I see that as you're rolling over each one of these projects, there's an awesome animated preview. I'm not familiar with After Effects projects having animated previews. Tell me how that's possible. What's going on here?
So in order to have the animated preview for your After Effects project, you can simply generate it just clicking on the AB file and choosing Create Preview. And AEViewer will guide you through the whole process where you will need to select the composition, and AEViewer will do the rest for you. It will generate the preview and prepare the AP project file.
So you basically can select which comp and what work area range within that comp will generate the preview. So you can have a lot of control, and then you can, if you set that up for all your projects, you can just batch render all the previews, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'll get back to that when we will check the pre-render tab. And I'll
and this might be also for that section, but what if I just want to import one comp from a project? Can I do that?
Yes, you can do that, but beforehand you need to mark the composition and add the comment under the desired composition, for example, AEViewer, and from that, AEViewer will be able to figure out that, okay, we need to import the project and add to the timeline that specific composition.
That's super powerful, right, Ryan? I mean, to be able to just like browse all of your projects and then just be able to like cherry pick a comp right out of one of the projects.
Yeah, and just to speak also to Laura, as someone who's just approaching for the first time, this is all way out of, I don't want to say left field, but way beyond any of the already offered abilities to kind of preview and look through your media in After Effects. So this gives you not only a great overview, but also being able to dive in and get into the details is so much better than just a list of source names.
I mean, this is so awesome. You would think that it should be built into After Effects, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's what we thought. That's why we're making it free for everybody.
It is.
Now would be a time for the air horn, Ryan.
Oh yeah, right. I we could do the club in one. Here we go. I can't even use the 25% off because 25% off isn't 0, and that's where we're at right now. I know the cool thing about is also the entire capabilities of how many formats you have. I know in Pro version there's even more, but even the free version just alone, there's dozens of image, video, audio, font, vector files that are all completely accessible, all within the same window, which is really cool.
And notice how fast, by the way, it's performing when Alex is sort of just clicking around there. That's the other thing that is really sets this apart, is that it's just lightning fast. And you know, when you're looking for stuff, the last thing you want to be doing is just waiting for stuff to load.
And you can control everything through your tabs so that everything stays nice and clean, and it's not just one big bundle folder like you would have otherwise.
Yep. And AEVIEWER also can extract the preview of the Mogart files. So you don't need to generate any special previews for Mogarts, and you can as well simply import those with a double click, and the imported Mogart file will be automatically opened under the Essential Graphics panel where you can customize everything. So yeah, it's pretty dope. And in the next version of the AEVIEWER, we will add the animated previews to the Mogart files. So all default Mogart files, or any of the custom Mogart files, will have the video previews as well.
Oh, that's
so
great.
Yeah, as you have mentioned, it's super fast, and in the recent version of the AEVIEWER, we have added a caching mechanism. So all the previews for videos, for media files, will be stored separately, and every time you will open the folder, it will be lightning fast. So under the AEVIEWER, you can see that there are a couple tabs available. First one is a collection, where you can store your most used files, or you can create your own mood boards. Or for example, if you're working on some project and you're trying to complete your scene and you don't know which file to pick, you can just create such curated collections, and then just browse through it and select whatever you want to. Another cool thing called Quick Access under the Folders tab, where you can just drag and drop your favorite folders and have an easy access to those. And there's also a tree view where you can scroll and navigate through your categories. And one of the hidden features that only a couple people know, unfortunately, is when you're working with some large packs and you're trying to navigate through the categories or something like that, you can just hold down the folders and choose any additional folder that is that goes at the top.
Yeah, I wanted to touch a little bit on the capabilities of both your search, and then I know also in the Pro version you have some category capabilities. Those are things that are obviously in addition to what is offered at the baseline. The search obviously is also incorporated in the free version as well. But what's the best way to kind of navigate when you have all these giant folders of so many options and you're looking for something in particular and maybe it's spread across multiple folders?
Just simple search will work fine.
And is that unique to only the file name, or can you also give it different tags?
We're still working on the tagging feature, but for now, just type your file name and yeah, boom, the file is here.
And instantly loaded and all put together, which is cool.
Yep.
And I mean, if it isn't obvious, this is just an insanely awesome way of making your own asset library, right? If you reuse a lot of elements, be able to browse through your elements with these animated previews. He was just showing the explosions and whatnots here, but these can either be things you purchase from somebody, or you created yourself, and that's just phenomenal.
And then I know that the free version includes 2 preview modes, and then the third is included in the pro version, which is the advanced list mode. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yep, sure thing. So the advanced list mode, it has a sorting feature. So you can sort by type or by the name or by the size. And under the advanced list mode, you can also check the folder size. You may need to enable this option under the appearance menu. So just in case if you will need the folder size, you can easily see it.
And sort by. Ryan, the reason this is a pro feature is because we all know time is money.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you that are new to After Effects, the bigger your file gets, the more sluggish that it can get.
You mean the folder
very
size,
quickly.
Yeah. You mean the folder, if you have a million items instead of a folder, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's just without previews. That's just text search.
Right.
Yeah. Another cool feature is, I would say, most of the people that are using, large packs will need this feature. For example, I'm working with a set of transitions or a set of, pre-made scenes, and I would like to see all content of the pack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to that folder and check this option, show all files inside. And I'll be able to see the content of all subfolders just in one click.
So wait a second, those are all the comps inside of the project, basically?
Sort of.
So this is the pack author created this, sort of tagged all of these with these previews.
Yep.
I see.
That's right.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So you can also run some scripts from the scripts tab. So these scripts it's basically a duplicate of the menu that you have under the Windows menu. So this is that, and you can easily add some category and mark it with colors. And let's move to the pre-render tab. So with the pre-render tab, you can easily create the previews for multiple compositions in a few clicks. So here I have the project with a few compositions, and I would like to generate previews and save those comps as a separate project. So what I need to do is to open the pre-render tab, click Add Compositions, then set current time indicators inside those compositions on the frame that I would like to use as a static frame, and just click Render. And After Effects will render all the previews, and after all the rendering will be done, it will automatically resave everything, and all information on all those projects and previews will be available inside the open folder in one moment.
Wow, that is so resourceful.
Boom, that's it.
Boom is right.
It's just all there, ready for.
That's crazy. That's just that right there alone
Yeah.
is amazing. And that's what I love about AEVIEWER. Everything about it is just mind blowing. Not more to say that. That's it.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
there are more things to go, and one of the best, coolest features I would say is working with fonts, because sometimes clients want to play around with fonts, and it's a pain in the ass to use this
The drop down menu.
The drop down menu, especially when you do have some set of favorite fonts. So with AEVIEWER, it's super easy. I can create my own, curated collection of the fonts. Simply, drag and drop my favorite fonts into that collection. And just from this collection, I can select my text layer, and with double click, apply the design. That's it.
I mean, I am on my Windows machine. I was on a Mac for many years, and I used to always open up the font book to be able to cycle through all my fonts, just because going through After Effects Alone's drop-down menu was not extensive enough for me. And you wouldn't have capabilities to have folders like you were saying. And then also I just couldn't see it on a large scale in real time. So it's cool that you can go in, and when you are viewing your fonts, you can actually change the source text for it, right?
Yep. You can also customize the preview for the fonts under the settings menu. So I don't know. Let's write aescripts.
Yeah. Just leave it at that. You'll be working on something like a week from now, and you're like, why is everything aescripts? My best is when you put in like a title of something and it's something really bizarre, and then you end up running into it months later.
All right. It's not always goes as expected. So
it's showbiz, baby. So we'll take a break from it real quick. But I do want to go and highlight a few of the other things that you have, because you're not only a creator of only AEViewers. I know you were talking about your templates, but I know you also have a total of 6 different products up on aescripts, and another really strong one that you have that's quite popular.
Sorry, Ryan, I don't want to cut you off, but we really need to finish talking about AEVIEWER because it's a huge deal. We haven't talked about the pro version.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we move on to the other products.
No, let's keep.
So, Alex, why would you want to use the pro version?
Well, there is a feature that I wanted to showcase to you guys. And it's actually a pretty new feature. It's called create. It actually helps you to create the expression library. So I'm gonna showcase it in a moment. And also the pro version supports more formats, more video, audio formats that you may need. So.
And then, of course, the template package making.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And then what about in the promo it said that with the pro version you also got Premiere Pro support, but that doesn't make a lot of sense, right, Alex? Like, I want to just be able to use it in Premiere Pro. What if template makers want to have a free reader for Premiere Pro? What should we do?
We are considering this option to we're gonna make it work with Premiere Pro as well pretty soon.
Wait, the free version is gonna work in Premiere Pro too?
Yep, that's right.
What, Ryan? This is huge.
You can't. I like I said, I don't have a button for free stuff, so I'm just gonna have to keep pressing. Yeah, I should have been more prepared.
So basically, just to explain it to everybody, if you're a template maker, you basically create a template, and the template might have a ton of assets inside of it, or it might have lots of sort of customization options. And currently, there's really no good way to distribute it. You send out an After Effects project file, which has no copy protection. It has no guided explanation. It has no previews. It's just sort of like, here's the source code, for lack of a better word. And so you have to be quite proficient in After Effects to be able to use it. So Adobe recently introduced these MOGRTs, MOGRT, which is this motion graphics template. And their aim is to sort of facilitate the use of an After Effects template. So what's cool about these MOGRTs is you can generate, you author it in After Effects, and then it can be imported into Premiere and used in Premiere. And there's, the template author can indicate which things can be modified. But if your MOGRT has many options, or there's many MOGRTs, there's no good way right now to preview it. And so this is where AEViewer, the Pro version, can help you organize, set the correct previews, put all the stuff in organized folders. And then what you do is you're going to create this, they're called, what are they called, Alex? They're called packages, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So then you create this package that can be protected, right, Alex?
Yep.
It can be protected with a license code?
Yes, we have a few options where you can choose whether it's going to be a free package without the license code, or the encrypted package that will require a license code in order to verify a purchase.
So suddenly your template basically can be distributed like a piece of software, which is totally awesome and not possible before. And then anybody with the free AEViewer reader can have this viewing and browsing experience that Alex showed earlier, but for your package that they might have bought from your website or wherever. And so then the reason we've decided to also make it free on Premiere Pro was because Premiere Pro is actually, it's a huge market, and it's a place where somebody might not be familiar with how to open After Effects or how to open and modify a project in After Effects. So being able to read these packages in Premiere Pro for free, we thought was very important. So that's why we've changed course a little bit from the initial release. And just for the record, this is very heavily based on user feedback from when we launched. So this is just proof that we're always listening.
Always listening.
Always listening. We're like Santa Claus.
Yeah. So speaking of the packages, I'm going to showcase a way how to create the free packages. So all you need to do is go to Packages tab with the Pro version and click Create Pack. Then fill all the information required, your author name, your URL, pack name, everything. Then select the folder with your files that you want to distribute. Choose the package image, which I have already set up, and click Create Package. After that, you will have the file with AV Pack extension. And all you need to do is to send this file to anyone and simply drag and drop into AEViewer, and your package will be installed. And you will be able to find it under the Packages menu. And if you will need an additional information about that, you can right-click on the package name, choose Information, and here you will have all the information required.
That's particularly great when you're going back and forth between a client and maybe trying something new out, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to make this package for sale publicly. You can actually, back in my when I was a designer, we used to create branding packages for TV networks. So like you rebrand CBS, and it's a huge list of assets. And it used to be like you had to do a PDF branding guideline and explain how things are going to be used. And now you can actually create an AEViewer package and have it all very much organized and deliver it that way. Just like,
yeah, and especially lots of people will may need this feature in order to distribute, some branding files and some, internal design packages inside the company. So yeah, it can be handy. And as for the Pro packages or packages that are requiring the purchase code, the workflow of installing the packages is pretty much the same. You just drag and drop the package inside the AEVIEWER. Then you type your Meyl.
Wait, are you showing Alex on your screen?
Yep. Let me repeat that. So just drag and drop, type your email, purchase code, and that's it. And
that's awesome. And boom,
the package will be automatically opened under the file browser menu.
Just baked right into it too.
Yeah. So another cool feature that was released in the AEVIEWER 2.0 Pro version is an ability to easily create your expression library. So we made a small plugin that allows you to do that in a couple of clicks. So all you need to do is to have the property with an expression added. Then go to a keyframe assistant, create preset from expression, and name this expression however you want to. For example, ping pong. And AEVIEWER will get the screenshot of your composition, and basically it will create a file with the EXPR extension that you can apply anywhere. So, for example, I'm gonna animate this type with a few keyframes, and with a double click, the expression will be applied to the selected property. So yeah, and in order to add the animated preview to that, to the expression preset, all you need to do is to add the MPEG-4 file with the same name as your EXPR file.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Now, were there any other features that you wanted to touch on before we move on?
Another feature that I've been heavily using recently is when I've been creating some graphics for the Twitter, and as far as I remember, there isn't a way to preview PSD files on Windows. So what I've been doing is I've been browsing all my PSD files from the AEVIEWER, and then just simply was clicking open the default program, and the PSD file was opened in Photoshop. So I've been just using the AEVIEWER as just the previewer for the PSD files as well.
There you go.
Okay, so yeah, moving on.
Moving on, do you want to go into a little bit of the font extension that you have, which is really good for, I know, animating and bringing in different types of lettering into your project. So we do have the trailer for it, and I'm going to let it run.
If you've ever tried to create an animated typeface, or to use such typeface, you know how many problems may arise. That's why we are happy to present you simple but also powerful script we've been working for the last 4 months. Font Manager. Font Manager includes more than 15 must-have tools that were born in cooperation with typography designers. The most important thing in creating animated typefaces is how easy to work with your project. And now, you just type the text and click the button to get a perfect result. Colors, tracking, time offset, and many other options could be managed within one layer. The creation of the correct animated typefaces now is a walk in the park. Just set up composition with text layer and click the button. and you got all composed glyphs. Add animation, select properties you want to manage, and boom! With awesome parent properties function, script will automatically create the controller parent selected properties inside each character, or it will find the properties by their names and do the same. One click and the work is done. Also, you will be able to control the same colors using one controller, which will save you tons of time. Our parenting function doesn't have any analogs. Now you can control all characters from one layer or color and manage each character separately. And our pride and the reason why we have created this tool: kerning and metrics. How many times you had to drop characters in composition and manually move layers? Font Manager analyzes and adjusts correct spacing automatically. Now, all your titles look great. Too many buttons? Push one. Quick Start. And our assistant will guide you step by step. While working with a script, you will find lots of nice, pleasant things. For example, text management is very similar on how you work with text layers in After Effects. Now, it is not necessary for customers to download the original font, since all the information is contained in the script and projects. And even more, Font Manager has been made with the soul for our fellows, colleague designers, and all font lovers. Make work with fonts awesome and enjoyable right now.
I mean, that is very cohesive, very wide spanning. I love how it specifically touches on the idea of passing hands and not having the need to have everything re-downloaded. I know that in my personal experience, I've worked with agencies, and a product will go between many people, and someone will come back to me and like, do you have this plugin? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. You guys have to look into that. So it's really nice to be able to create a project with animated type and pass it off and know that it should be good to go.
Well, so Alex, you know, with Font Manager, we created a whole new sort of category of font, animated font, which is a JSX typeface, which is, to use the word from yesterday, a parametric typeface file. Yeah, I think Alex is going to show off here how that works.
It's super easy actually to use. All you need to do is to just click install animated typeface and choose your archive with the typeface and click open, and it will be automatically installed inside the font manager and will appear under the drop-down menu.
We have a, by the way, I should mention, in case anybody's not familiar with an animated typeface, it's something you can either create yourself with the help of Font Manager, or you can just purchase a pre-designed animated typeface. We have a whole section of animated typefaces on our website. So if you purchase one of those or somebody else creates one for you, then you can install it as Alex is showing.
Yep. And also, Aaron from the Animography is providing a very interesting course about how to use Font Manager in order to create the animated typefaces. So shout out to Aaron. And well, after you will install and choose any of the typefaces, you just type the text and click the button to get the perfect result, as it was mentioned in the promo. The cool thing about Font Manager is that you can easily control the required settings and color your typeface under the controller and set up the tracking or any other additional options after you have already typed the text.
Yeah, I really liked the idea of parenting and also the ability of being able to adjust the offset of animation, because sometimes you'll do something and it'll look good as you're breaking it down, but then as soon as you hit play and it renders in real time, suddenly you're like, that was way too fast, or this is dragging along too much. So it's nice to be able to know that you can go back and edit even with all the complex animation for every single letter.
Yep. And another cool thing that Font Manager supports is the kerning option. You can be sure that it won't mess up the letter spacing, and everything will be aligned correctly. And we are providing a bunch of different tools in order to speed up the creation of the animated typefaces, and also a quick start guide that will navigate you through the whole process on the typeface creation, where you can also customize your glyphs, or choose the glyphs from the predefined sets. And yeah, quickly add any animation and parent properties. By the way, I'm using this parent properties not only when I'm creating the animated typefaces, but also when I need to parent any bunch of colors from my active composition to one controller. So Font Manager can do that as well. So to be honest, there are so many things to cover in the Font Manager. So you guys better check out the tutorials that we are providing, and because it's a very deep hole of the learning curve.
But that said, once you do, then you can have real creative freedom with really creating anything that can be then later edited and quickly. You put the hard work in the beginning, and then you can breeze by in later. Tom is saying, it seems like I can generate new animography fonts with a button. And while that's not necessarily the case, I'm surprised you guys don't have a little design button on your desk like I do. And I just hit the design button, and then everything's done.
No, but if you've ever had to use animated typefaces before Font Manager, it was a nightmare. It was a bunch of separate comps that you had to drag into a parent comp. You had to do the kerning and tracking manually. It's like we get used to using fonts, static fonts, but the experience was quite different for animated fonts. And Font Manager made working with animated fonts as close as possible to working with normal fonts. And as well as also like facilitating the usability of what an animated font is. So if, for example, you really wanted to have all the colors and all the fonts be tied together, then Font Manager lets you quickly parent just those things together. Or if you wanted to have linking just everybody works differently. And so Font Manager really lets you set it up however it is that you want. And it's all just a one-click and go thing. It's super awesome.
Also, animated typefaces aren't something that you really see probably before like the 2010s. They might be here and there as unique things, but their popularity and use case has only increased over the last few years, and I don't see that going away anytime soon. So it's interesting to see the workflow get easier, especially as the want for them increases.
Yeah, and we have huge plans for the Font Manager, and hopefully soon we will be able to present you another awesome feature. It's actually a designed presets for your typeface. So right now you need to create an animation manually for your glyphs, but with this new feature, that animation preset will be applied to any of your glyphs automatically while creating the creation of the whole typeface structure. So the good thing about that is these animations presets will be multilingual. So you can easily generate the typeface in Japanese or in Russian or any language.
Oh, that's fantastic, especially because there's some other languages that I'm not fluent in that have beautiful calligraphy, and it'd be really cool to see them kind of have their day in the sun as far as animated typefaces go.
Yeah. So that's the Font Manager.
Absolutely. And so I know that we are a little over time. We want to bring Oliver in just a moment, but I do want to make sure that we do give the time on stage for your last 3 projects, but we did a little bit of this yesterday, and since it's the 4th week of sales, we're doing 4 words or less. So just going through each product that you have, and we're going to put you on the spot in the hot seat, and check out if you can do a little description of each in 4 words or less.
4 words or less.
Okay, so we have a font manager. What would you say for that?
The best animated typefaces ever.
All right. We'll lump AEViewer and AEViewer Pro together, but just for AEViewer.
Well, it's actually 5 words, but a flexible media browser for everyone.
Media browser can be hyphenated into 1 word. Don't worry.
Yeah, easy, done.
Okay, done.
Tell us a little bit about AEP to Mogart in 4 words.
4 words. That would be a hard one. 1 click to unleash the template. I don't know.
We'll do. What about if we do convert files to Mogart?
Convert, yeah, the best one.
There you go. Then we have another free one that you have up here, which is Animography Controller.
Yep. It's the younger brother of the font manager.
All right, and then autosaver, which is kind of already in the title, but
yeah. Save your day with the backup.
save your life. Honestly, I've had even streams that I've done where I have not began the save, and then it doesn't have autosave set up, and then you see my face just drop, and I lose hours of work. So
yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate having you. You have a really great selection of templates also. I know on another site, is there a place where people can go check those out?
Yep, they can check the profile on Twitter, and we are still in the process of launching motion.land website. So, and also we're going to launch AEVIEWER.com website really soon. There are going to be lots of cool information, API for developers that we haven't covered in this video, and lots of cool stuff for template authors and just enthusiasts of After Effects and Premiere Pro.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I am putting both your aescripts link and your Twitter link into the chat for everybody to go ahead and follow. But in the interim, as you go ahead and build the next project that you have coming up, we look forward to talking to you and seeing where it goes.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Alex.
All right. And have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too. Take care.
All right, bye. All right. Next up, we have Oliver in just a minute. And I'm going to take a quick break off the camera to take a glass of water.
You're watching AEscripts and AE Plugins Summer of Sales Week 4, going on August 9th to 13th. Save on dozens of creators' offerings. Going on now at aescripts.com.
All right, so now we're going to go ahead. We're going to bring on Oliver. He actually is ready with a bit of a demo for some of the stuff that he has. We're looking at Platoon and Transition Master. You guys might have heard about them, but we'll be going over them in just a moment here. So, hi, Oliver. How's it going?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for coming on the show. We're excited to go over what you have going on. How long have you been creating plugins for programs?
And in general, first greetings from Germany. So we have late night. We have 11 o'clock right now. And
thank you for staying up for us.
Well, yeah, of course. But let me say sorry if I'm missing some vocabulary or some words. Hopefully, I do my best. So in general, in general, we are a commercial agency, and we start developing plugins. I think 2 years ago, but we don't do that in-house. We have a partner located in Munich, which is a very, very talented programmer, and Lloyd already knows him. And it was just a tip from Lloyd, and he shared us the contact, and we're working with him the last 2 years. And the first one, the first plugin was Platoon, and the second one was Transition Master, and yeah. That's it.
No, it's great. Great introduction to what we'll be looking at today. I actually have the trailer up for Platoon, which is a texturing plugin, and we can actually begin with playing that, and then we can talk a little bit about it.
Right.
Such an intense trailer, and I'm always all about it. The big thing that stood out to me about this plugin was the ability to offset different textures based off of different animations. I know that when I have created texture-related animations in the past, I've had to duplicate the layer and then use several different Luma mats or alpha mats. So that's something that definitely stood out to me, and I was really excited about. But I also want to give you the floor to talk about what makes the plugin special to you.
Right. So as we came up with Platoon, so I came from the 3D side, and if you work with 3D Max or Cinema 4D or whatever 3D program, you have any kind of geometry, and then you apply a texture to that. And if you fire up After Effects, I was searching, what the heck is that apply texture button? And we didn't find that, and it was, as you said before, it was, for me, it's very handy to have textures. I can apply them to my artwork, and I have my texture library already always by my side, so I don't have to import a bunch of textures, check how they look like, and then again delete them or import more textures. And after that, I got a whole bunch of textures in my After Effects composition, and that's not very structured, as I think. So that's why we came up with Platoon. And the second big thing was we're working also with Photoshop, and in Photoshop you got these very cool Photoshop patterns, and we thought, why we can't use Photoshop patterns inside After Effects? So there are a bunch of tons of really cool patterns to download, and you can't use them directly in After Effects. You have to go over Photoshop, or you have to extract the patterns file to JPEGs or whatever, and then you can use them in After Effects. So with Platoon, you can directly import Photoshop patterns and use them directly in After Effects. So that's another very cool feature, as I think. And just to showcase you, I have this summer wipes. Hopefully we are in summer sale, so summer wipes, I found that today, and just to showcase you that. I have here Illustrator artwork, and for example, I have the yellow lights, which is everything which is yellow, and simply apply Platoon to that. It starts automatically with a checker pattern, so that you know you have Platoon installed. And then with a click of this little button here, you got your library, and this is 100% customizable. You have here all of your folder structure inside. For example, let's take some halftone patterns, and you apply them, and you have this halftone patterns, and you have different blend modes. to simply blend that. For example, let's make overlay, and now you got these little cool, retro look on your artwork. And if you like to import textures or something, you have these buttons here. You can click Show Folder in US, and that gives you your folder structure, and you can simply drag and drop your folders here, and you will have your textures always at your side. You never ever have to import textures, and you can use them directly in After Effects. So that was the main thing. So with that, we thought what we can do with this, what else we can do with that. So of course you can increase, decrease opacity of these textures. Let me go back to normal. Of course you can scale that. You can rotate that. You can tint that. You can invert the pattern's color. Maybe let's tint that. So you see, you can tint all of that. So many features, and that was basically version 1.0, which we launched. Lloyd helped me, I think it was last year on Black Friday, I think. And after we had that, we thought, what else? So one thing was having some kind of glitch effect. That was, I'd like to have that in my plugin, because it was a famous or popular effect, and it was, if you want to have a good glitch effect, it was horrible to achieve that. And so let me just make a new comp. Here we go, just to showcase you that.
I'll just add real quickly that anybody familiar with doing texturing in After Effects normally is several layers, and if you want to have things easily updatable, you got to link them all with expressions or parenting, and moving things around is not super intuitive. So as you just saw, Platoon makes it sort of a really brainless, one click, everything's in one effect. It's an amazing workflow for texture.
Yeah,
right.
Especially just having that grid of being able to look at textures, just to Oliver's point, just like Photoshop, where you can go and you can click and then you can manipulate those same textures, where those are related off of math and repeating and scaling, where if you were to take the texture as a PNG or a JPEG and just throw it in as its own layer, you don't have nearly as much control without having to add like Reptile onto it or something like that, and then using that for scaling onto the sides and making things more complicated.
And you know what Reptile is, but I bet you the first time you opened After Effects, you had no idea what that was.
No, absolutely.
I forgot one missing feature, and nobody's talking about, and I think this is for me, it's one of the impressive feature of Platoon. You all got these mobile devices here, and Adobe launched an app called Capture, and you can do patterns with this mobile device. Okay, and you simply here's the camera. You simply take a picture of your environment wherever you are. You can take your picture, save that on your mobile device, and you have that immediately inside of your library. That will synchronize automatically your cloud library, and you have all your patterns inside Platoon. So you can be creative outside. You can take photos in your environment. You can make patterns, whatever you like to, and you have them immediately in your library. You can apply them to your texture, scale them down, and you got very fancy patterns seamlessly, and you got very cool. You can make quick and very cool effects. So this is one feature. I know, I don't know why I ever forgot to talk about that, but this is a feature. It take my developer very many sleepless nights to get that running, to synchronize only the patterns inside the Adobe ecosystem.
So that goes into Adobe's creative libraries, and that's how it immediately syncs.
Right.
Oh wow!
So you have all your creative library stuff directly here inside of Platoon. If you make a new library called patterns, whatever, and you save from your mobile device on your mobile device to your cloud, it automatically synchronizes to Platoon.
And you said that was Adobe Capture, right?
Right.
And then I know that it's a little, After Effects text is so tiny, but you can see there when he's opening up his different folders, you can see what is directly from Platoon and what's directly from Adobe Libraries. So you can keep a control over what is on your system and what is in the cloud.
Yeah, sorry, I have my screen resolution is too high. Sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. It's just in general, it seems like After Effects really makes me have to use my glasses and like lean forward on stream all the time. So you're not alone. Trust me.
Right. Then after that, we implemented a few more features. We implemented turbulence, which you can apply to your input layer, to your texture, or to both. If you apply that to your texture, let me bring up something better. Let's say grounds. This one, okay. And zoom in a little bit. So if you apply that, so we have none, and if you apply that to your texture, you can manipulate the texture with your turbulence settings. You get an automatically animation speed here. So if you scrub your timeline, you will see it's automatically animated. Sorry, and you have all these turbulence parameters, which are a little bit confusing. That's why we are working on version 2.0, and we will have much more handy names and user interface for the turbulence section, and more than only we have 4 turbulence modi. We have sine, noise, turbulence, and ridge, and we have a bunch more of these settings in the future version. But
and
here
all those can be applied to both only the texture and can also be applied to the layer as a whole, right?
Right. If you apply it to the input layer, then it takes the whole bunch of the whole layer. So you can see here you have the noise, and you can scale that and play with that. Here you see that happens, and on the texture it only affects the texture, or you can put that on both.
That's great. Sasha says hello from Ukraine. Hello, welcome. We're going over Platoon, which is a texture-based plugin for After Effects that makes texture adding to your projects extremely easy and customizable. So we're here with Oliver from Illumi Design.
Okay, thanks. The next feature we implemented was texture swap, because I'd like to swap my texture. So, for example, if you achieve some kind of grungy footage or animated style, and you want to switch images over your text layer, for example, or let me go back to the summer wipes. You can see that a little bit better. So, for example, here, let's bring that to overlay. Here we go. So you have these nice halftone patterns on it, and you see this is all of my halftone patterns inside my library, and I can switch them, and I have the option to swap the texture. So if I check that and I scrub my timeline, it automatically will change the textures according to the swap frequency. So we will increase it a little bit. Now we can see that. So you can achieve very cool effects by swapping the textures inside this folder structure. Okay, so I mean, that looks cool. Imagine you want to simulate grungy film stripes or something like that. You can simply swap the texture over time. You can randomize the length, and that's, I think, another handy feature if you work with textures in After Effects. Then, as I said before, the glitch. Let me go to the glitch. That was something I definitely wanted to have in my plugin. Let me go back to the texture so we can see that better. And this glitch effect is texture driven. That means if you have a black and white image, for example, this grunge here, you see that?
Wow,
can-
that's nice.
You can simply drive the glitch effect over your black and white image. And you have the frequency, and you have the max shift pixels.
Oh, so
And
you can really
can
blow it
also,
out
if
if
you
you
like,
want.
sorry?
So you can really blow it out if you want, or you can bring it nice and tight so that it seems like it's glitching all in the same place.
Yeah, right. So you can overdo that with something like that.
Wow, that's cool. Almost like particle effect, almost, without having to deal with particles.
Particles without particles, right? You can do this with. Let me go to the halftone thing. With that, so and you can, if that RGB colors don't fit to your artwork, you of course can change the values of each RGB value, and you can keep the source unglitched, so you have always the original text behind that, if you like to. So yeah, you have the frequency, so it looks like that.
Very cool.
You have the max shift pixels, and there we needed the flicker effect. So if you check that, it only will flickers several times, so you don't have the glitch all the time, so you can flicker that. And yeah, it's quite handy to achieve very easy and very fast this glitch effect.
Oh,
and
great.
the last one, we had this kind of displace effect. Also, again, it's texture driven. Here we have that, for example. So this is basically, it's just a shape layer. So that's all. And
So it's just an ellipse circle with you just added
just a shape.
Wow.
And you apply Platoon to that, and Platoon is, in this case, we have as a source layer, we have turbulence, which is this one here, and you can see if I play with the settings, it will change.
I mean, that's really cool, because that's approaching textures in a way that I would never assume is a texture related thing. I would look at that and I'd immediately relate that to something that is completely shape driven. And so it's cool to see that you can affect just usual shape layers in After Effects to make them into abstract forms.
Right.
And it's just looks like it's working right around the bicycle.
Right. So then after we applied the Platoon and have these lines here, we tinted them and give them a glow and a force motion blur. So everything works in stock after Platoon. And this is also one feature of Platoon. So we use that to achieve these abstract effects as you like. Okay, and you can use Platoon also. I have nothing here to showcase you that, but let me go and make. We have here some renders. Here we are. So this is the same we did, as you see here.
Very cool.
But you can, let me make a new solid and apply Platoon to that. And you can use as a source, you can use the file, which is your library, okay? And you can use also a layer, which is, for example, our footage. And here you have the same options. You have the tile on, so you can scale that down. Something is wrong here. Sorry for that.
I mean, it's looking
I know. Sorry for that. And we are on masks and effects. So what? No. Sorry. That shouldn't have been. File. Layer. I think that must be my display. Sorry for that.
Oh no, you're good. And it's all
you
part
can-
of it.
Yeah, but it should not look like this. So, but you can use also footage as to drive your Platoon, and also to apply all of these things you like. So you can use your library, your textures, but you can also texture your footage with movie clips inside your composition.
Is it behaving that way because of the alpha channel setting?
I think so. I did not prepare that. Normally, in general, maybe I should take another footage, but in general, it works perfectly. You don't have these issues. I have some settings here. They're not working correctly, or it's my screen. I have no idea.
Why don't we talk about the next version of Platoon?
The next version, yeah. So we would like to bring in some new features. One thing is I have prepared that here. Where's the slice? Here we go. Sneak. Here we go.
And now, when you're speaking about the next version of Platoon, how soon is that in the works? Is there like a projected timeline for that?
Yeah, we are.
No
I think
projected timelines.
Timelines is hard to tell. No, we try to go in beta on by the end of August. That's mainly the plan.
Wow.
Hopefully, we are ready for the Black Friday sale. Hopefully,
It's amazing that that's so close.
yeah, but we have to test a lot because we have some new features. I think there should be a lot of testing that everything works fine, and yeah, quality should be high. So I don't know. Everybody's busy, and we give our best to be out this year. Hopefully Black Friday, but I'm not sure if we can make that.
No promises, but something to look forward to in the event that it can.
I think within the next. I think it should be ready in this year.
That's great. And so what are some of the features that you have planned kind of in the works for the next version?
Yeah, one thing is if you slice, if you have Platoon, here we have, for example, this image, and I have this lines pattern, and I have this place effect where I can, let me say, slice this image, as you see. And we have some issues here with the anti-aliasing. So in a picture, it doesn't look this bad, but if you have a text layer and you go in, you see that little lines, and this is not the way we'd like to have that. So we will have a filter to get rid of these anti-aliasing lines. So you can split everything with the displacer and make cool effects. Something like here, like this. Okay, so this is a mini feature. A bigger one is we like to use the displacer we have in our plugin. We'd like to push that a bit further. We like to make the solve effects much more easier to use. We like to make shader easier. I know After Effects has a shader feature in it, but think about, where's my sneak? Here we go. The wrong one. Think about something like that you can dissolve different parts in your image. This is mask driven, so we have already in the version right now, we have a mask control, so you can paint a mask. Let me showcase you that. You can simply paint a mask, something like that, and you can choose this mask as a driver for your displacement, as you see here. Now we have this mask as a driver. If I increase that, you will see it goes up here. And we'd like to have masks around objects, trackable, and then let the displacer dissolve in little tiny pixels this part of the footage. Okay, so we'd like to have control over the pixel size, the pixel geometry, and something like that. And we'd like to have some turbulence behavior, maybe some gravity behavior. So it's not a really particle thing. It's more than a tool to dissolve text or I have a little. This was a test. Please do not look at the quality, but something like that. We have this car here, and it dissolves from the street. You see the tracking is not perfect, but it was simply a test for our developer how we like to have this this effect inside Platoon. So, and this is some kind of a look and feel we'd like to have. Some motion blur, different kind of pixels rising up or to the left or with a turbulence or whatever. So hard to simulate, but to showcase what we like to do with that is hopefully you can imagine, or you can you got a picture what it will look like if it's ready.
Yeah, no, I think that Platoon in particular is one of those extensions that is a really good complement to other different parts of your design process. So it's not going to necessarily pull your entire piece to that final form, but if you take it and you combine it with other things like your content aware fill, I think that it really can create some really amazing stuff.
Right.
And I also want to speak to Reverb Mike over here, who's asking about if another one is coming out, if they should just hold off. But actually, if you buy this version, there will be an upgrade discount for when the next one comes, whenever that'll be. No projected timelines, no stress, Oliver. Take your time, do your thing. But you can continue to play around with it and then get excited about new features. Also, I want to say hello to Adobe Live, who just came in the door. We are currently looking at AEscripts and AE plugin sales going on right now. This is Platoon, which is exciting. It is a $119 normally, but it is $89.25 until Friday because it's 25% off.
Amazing.
And so we were just going over some of the features, but that's not the only thing that Oliver has for us today. He also has a really exciting transition plugin that is not only unique to After Effects, but it's also Premiere, and it also has some DaVinci in there as well, which is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll the trailer for that, and then we can start talking about it. All right. So, I mean, that gave a pretty good overview of what it's all about, but let's get a little bit more detail. And you have two different options that are available. You have both Basic and you have Pro. Basic is down to $36.75 and Pro is at $111.75. And Reverb already is saying, I would never stop fiddling with all the settings in this thing. And that is really what stood out to me, is that it looks like a monster of sliders that would be way too fun to quickly end up getting way too into the transitions rather than the content of the project as a whole. But I'll let you kind of speak to that. What inspired for you to make this plugin?
Right. So we, as I said on the beginning, we are a commercial agency. We do a lot of image films, commercial spots for customers, and we have our working pipeline organized with DaVinci Resolve because of color grading options, and also the cutting is very good in the meantime. And I was not all the transitions, they are basically inside DaVinci are the same like in Premiere. So they are transitions and they're nothing fancy with that. So, and if you like to have other transitions, everybody tells you in the internet there are native transitions. You can drag and drop them, but for me that's a lie, because you have to import them into your project each time you fire up a new project, and you have to manipulate them in if you like to. You have to manipulate them in After Effects. You have in Premiere Pro. You have to go to After Effects to make changes mostly, and in DaVinci Resolve you have to go to Fusion to do whatever. So, and I'm in post-production we do with After Effects, and I have no time to learn Fusion. Maybe it's a cool program, but I don't have the time to learn that, and I simply want to have real drag and drop transitions and fancy, cool transitions, and a bit freedom to create my own transitions. And that's why we came up with Transition Master. And it's really, I'm remote on my office computer right now, but it's really, we have this, the OpenFX, all the way down, you have Transition Master, and you drag that onto your footage, and voila, this is your transition. By the way, this is a project we're working on for Warrior with their new hockey stick coming up, I think, next week. So
it's a little bit... timelines.
Yeah, right. And you click on this transition, and then you have your Transition Master settings, and here you have all the presets. They come with Transition Master, and you simply say move left ease, and make a preview. And here you have your transition finally done.
It very seamlessly shows the crossover, and it works right into the timeline like you would natively.
Right. It's very easy, and this is the Pro version, and you have a lot of settings, and all settings means over time. So we have, I think, a 1 hour introducing to Transition Master, where we explain each and every single slider here to play with, and you can do, I don't know how many versions or variations of your transitions, but you can build your own and you can save them. Here we have the save button somewhere.
So you can build up your own personal library of things that you have, not only for a project, but just in your library of transitions. And that, that extensive list can include things like remapping grid cells or doing a grid radial offset. You can mess with ping-ponging of different values, rotation, tilt, saturation, shake mode, pixelize mode.
Whatever. So if you like to, you see here, if I choose the tilt thing, you can see immediately it tilts. We have the rotation thing. You can activate the grid, so you got the grid going on. You have motion blur here somewhere. You can play with brightness, contrast. So you can do a lot of settings. I mean, nearly everything you need to build up a transition. And then you can save that so that you don't have to rebuild this transition all the time. And what was important for me, because some studios work together, and some of them working with After Effects, some of them working with Premiere Pro, and some of them working with DaVinci. So I can make a preset and save that, and I can open that preset in Premiere Pro, and it has exactly the same behavior on each platform.
I mean, that's a game changer in itself, because a lot of times you get into their own silos of these individual projects, and someone's working on one thing and somebody's working on the other one. And it's nice that you can kind of have a universal solution to all of these programs.
Yeah, so that was for me important, because we work mainly in DaVinci Resolve. In small projects, we work with Premiere Pro. And so I'd like to have all my transitions that I built up in DaVinci, I'd like to have them also in Premiere Pro. To be fast, to have all my transitions always by my side. And that's why we decided to make a small version of Transition Master, the basic, which has all of the presets, but nothing to change. So you can use the presets. You can Lloyd called it the player. So it's more or less the transition player. You can yeah, buy that for I don't know, 49 bucks, something like that.
Even cheaper, 36.
36. So you have to buy that. No, but you can buy that for, I don't know, 2-3 machines, and you have one pro version, and you can build up your own transitions, and you can use them for less money on every workstation you have. For a studio, for a small studio, you need one pro version, and if you have 3 workstations, you need 2 basic versions. So that's to make things cheap and to have the control that you can build up your transitions and have them on all workstation in your studio.
Spoken like a man who's familiar with working with teams.
Yeah, hopefully.
Gotta look out for everybody that's working together.
Yeah, so that's mainly it. So I don't like to go to all of these settings. I mean, you can, of course, download the trial version and play with all of these settings. I think you can build up any kind of transition, whatever you like. You can save that. You can share that, and yeah, you can use it in DaVinci, in Premiere Pro, in After Effects, even in Nuke. But I think Nuke is not the platform you have to use that, because Nuke is, yeah, not for film cutting.
Cool.
But you can
Well,
achieve
so
cool.
much.
But you can achieve cool effects. In Nuke, if you use that for text layers, it looks cool. But mainly, we sell that for DaVinci, Premiere, and After Effects.
Oh, perfect. I mean, yeah, you got to appreciate the flexibility. I myself have never really played out Nuke, but now you've piqued my interest, and now I want to see what it's all about.
Cool.
I mean, if you're you know, I think that the use case here is if you are managing a team of editors and you want to design, you know, your own transitions, like to have your like proprietary transitions, you can just use the pro version. You create your transition that looks a specific way, and then you distribute that to all of your editors that can use the basic version to play, you know, literally drag and drop, apply it, you know, in an edit. So
yeah, no room for failure there. Just easy, easy to pick up and pass off.
Right. One thing I was a little bit struggling with is the preset selection, because this software or this plugin is cross-platform, means DaVinci and DaVinci, Blackmagic, and Adobe. Normally, I'd like to have some fancy preview windows here where I can preview the transition, but Blackmagic did not allow that. So hopefully, maybe this is on the list. On the wish list, if Blackmagic sometimes give more freedom to this UI, that we implemented a little icons to preview the animation. That could be very handy, because this is a list, and I made all of these, but sometimes I have to look, oh, what does this look like? What does this look like? So that's a little bit an issue, but we don't want to lose the cross-platform. So that's why we have this.
No,
but we have it on the wish list.
Great. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for walking us through it. And like you said, there is an hour-long tutorial if you want to go through all the different specific modifiers that you can do, which would be some great Friday night movie if you want to get with the fam. But no, you guys should check it out. We put the links to Illumi Design in the chat for both YouTube and Behance. But with that, I hope you guys got a good feel of what Platoon and Transition Master has to offer. Oliver, I'm going to send you on your way, but we do appreciate you coming on the stream, and we're looking forward to the next phase. Late night,
Thank
Germany.
Thank you very much that I am able to be here. So
absolutely.
All
Thanks
the best.
for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right.
All right, and then there were two. Well, we will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time again. And tomorrow we have the privilege of bringing on Bretton Brander, and we're going to have a fun time. So
who was in the chat today?
Who was in the chat today, indeed. And like I was mentioning before, you can check out all the things that are on sale all week until Friday. If you go to just aescripts.com, you'll see that it brings you automatically to the sales page. But if you also want to go ahead and check out the direct list here. You can go and you can click through and see what's best for you. You can watch replays from today and yesterday on both Behance and YouTube. Check them out if you want to get a better idea. But tomorrow we're going to be looking at KeyFast, Hover, Rasterfast, and actually even Social Beam, which technically isn't part of the sale, but is on sale. So
because it's a new product, yeah,
brand new product. So
it is part of the sale.
Dealing with the fresh of the fresh. So, but looking forward to it. Should be fun. Hope to see you guys here, and have a great day.
Ciao.
Bye, guys. I'm gonna click the button for the outro now.